they've cleared the gate for us. We're going to slide on in. Okay, and do it in a clockwise fashion. And if you move in that way, you will go from the seashore. And as you follow your path, you'll notice the path brings you then and drops you down here. So that now we're down at the level of the water itself. We're now in the low-lying grasslands, an open, expansive area that represents those regions of the world. But yet what the Japanese themselves are starting to understand is that when you take a Japanese garden and you take it outside of Japan, immediately it is no longer truly a Japanese garden. So the idea is that it is still an art form, and yet as the art form starts to move around the world, it has to also adapt to the environment it finds itself in. Here, that is a very unique situation. We are the only Japanese garden that we are aware of today that exists in a desert environment. So that becomes a terrific challenge. And yet, you know that there's more around the curve, there's more around the bend. In fact, from that whole end of the garden, one of the major features, the 14-foot cascading waterfall, completely hidden from our view, completely. But the distant scenery is so beautiful that in their design, they'll fool the eye somewhat so that as you stand in certain perspective and look out, you'll see not the back of the garden, but you'll see the distant landscape, and it blends with the garden. So they borrow distant scenery to add to the garden experience. That's called hill and pond. Now, what happened then is that with Buddhism, following in the wake of this huge thought shift, came things like architecture. Now we have Buddhist temples, ritual, like tea ceremony, other things, that garden design, all followed in the wake of philosophy. And that's truly what tea ceremony is about as well. It's a philosophy about respect for nature, respect for human beings, and respect for yourself as well. And then when the host would leave the tea house and come to the inner gate, they would now open the gate and invite you into the roji. Roji gets its name dewy path because of the tradition of cleaning the tea garden in anticipation of your arrival. Now as the guest, you'll enter in, and the first point you will come to will be the water basin, the tsukudai. Just simply remove a ladle of water and pull it away from the water basin, and you rinse your left hand, you rinse your right hand, and that symbolizes a purifying of your body. In Japan, they also would rinse their mouth as a symbolism of purifying your thoughts. And prior to returning the ladle, it would be very respectful to leave a little water, tilt it up, and allow the water to flow down the handle, cleansing the handle for the guest who will come next, replacing the ladle either upside down or the cup side resting to look at toward the guest. Part of the whole respect is the cleanliness. And so the cleaning of the garden would have been achieved prior to your arrangement, the dribbling of water on the stepping stones, but they would have left in the chirigawa just a few twigs, just a few clippings, just a little something, so that as you come by, you would notice that.
Do you think they have American friendship gardens in Japan?
But they're 7 years old.